Great practice today. You know, we got 3 in last week. I thought they were good. But we need to start focusing and dialing in on this thing. And today was the first day with really the full game plan. And I thought the guys had a great practice. Yeah, it's hard. You know, I know the meaning of the word wearing 2 hats now. And they're both full-time jobs. But we're doing absolutely everything we can to give these guys the best chance that they have. And it's not easy, but I appreciate people on both sides allowing us to do this. And like I said, the players were focused today, the coaches are focused, and we got quite a bit of time here to get right for this game. I don't know if it's been done. I heard Urban Meyer coached Utah after he left Utah back in the day. I sat behind Dave Doran at the awards show, and he said one of his biggest regrets in coaching was not coaching Northern Illinois in the bowl game when he went to North Carolina State. The thing that has changed this year is the early signing period. You know, most of the time in years past, the coaching changes haven't happened until probably this past week, and then you still have quite a bit of time to get a signing class taken care of, and there's a lot more urgency out there this year because if you don't get it on some of these kids, a bunch of them are going to sign Wednesday. So that has changed things, and I don't know if they thought about coaching changes when they changed that rule, but it has made it harder. At the end of the day, I don't care what other people have done. I want to do what's right by these guys, and our whole staff being here coaching them gives them the best chance they can possibly have. You know, we are kind of figuring this out as we go along, but you know, there's been a lot of narratives out there, and they're all wrong, and sometimes we don't have the chance to correct them. I misspoke at the press conference. This is my 10th New Year's Day Bowl or National Championship as a player or coach. And I can tell you, every single time I was a receiver coach at Oregon and we had the practices we had last week, I was never there. I was out recruiting. And the practices basically happened with the head coach and the GAs. Those 3 practices we had last week were necessary to make sure we shook the rust off and we stayed in game shape. But there's not a staff in the country that had, if they're getting ready for a bowl, would have their entire staff there. And we made a commitment to have the majority of our staff here because we wanted our kids to know we were committed. If we hadn't been on the road recruiting for somewhere else and things hadn't changed, we would have been on the road recruiting here, and there probably would have been fewer people in practice. So I want to make sure people understand that. Not throwing anybody under the bus, but I guarantee Tennessee's new coach hasn't been at Alabama's practices, and Josh Heupel hasn't been in Missouri's practices, and Willie Taggart wasn't at Oregon's. We're here because we care about these kids, and we want to do what's best for them. You know, I just understand that I think people think we're not committed to this. You know, I was on a plane on Tuesday to California to recruit and got back at 6 in the morning so I could be here with these guys. And a lot of the guys on the staff have been doing the same thing. Auburn didn't practice for this game until Saturday. We practiced Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday with almost an entire staff. So, you know, a lot of that stuff's not out there, and I understand some of the frustration, but I can promise you that our staff is dialed in and ready to do absolutely everything we can for this game. Yeah, we're doing everything and more, like I said, that we've done at Oregon in the time I was there, and we were in 6 of these bowl games. We got more coaches at practice. We're practicing on the exact same schedule as we did, trying to get ready for these games. We're game planning at the same time, and like I said, we're ahead of our opponent because they started practicing on Saturday. It has been difficult getting on a plane and flying somewhere and getting back here, and it's not ideal for me, to be honest with you, but it's the right thing to do, and it's the best thing for these young men that have played for us. Well, the new baby adds to the lack of sleep. Ashley wakes up most of the time and helps him, but you know, anybody that's had a baby can understand I'm not sleeping for long stretches at a time without him waking us up, and it's hard, but I wouldn't trade it for the world. There's a lot of love on this team with coaches and players, and I think it was important. We had a talk with the players on Thursday about how these things go, and there's some people that don't understand how these practices go and how they work. You know, whether we were here or somewhere else, we were going to be out recruiting last week. Now it's dead period, and our focus 100% turns to this. I think our players needed to know that, and you could feel the same camaraderie and unity on the field today that I felt all year. So the players are going to be dialed in, and we're going to be dialed in. It's going to be a tough game, but win or lose, they're going to get our best shot. I think it can be a good thing. I do, because recruiting gets kind of nasty in January, and for those kids that don't want to be a part of that and want to get it over with, I think the December signing period is good. So I can't remember, but I would be for it. You know, and the circumstance that changes that is coaching changes. This makes it really hard, and there's a lot of them in the country this year. There'll be a lot of them in the country every year. And I kind of saw maybe some of the negative benefits and negative results of the signing period this year. I'm excited for UCF. I think these last 2 years, particularly this year, have shown the potential that we've been talking about for a long time here. There's no reason that UCF shouldn't continue to ascend. I know Josh a little bit, not well. I know Randy a little bit, not well. But they're both proven coaches, and I know they're inheriting a lot of good players and a lot of good people. So I'm excited for them. Well, it's different, you know, having two staffs in the building, but the cooperation's been good, and for the most part, we're in the lab trying to figure out the best offenses and defenses to run, and they're focused on recruiting. Which at times this week we've been focused on recruiting, but now we're all here and ready to focus 100% on this game. I think this is different. I talked to the players about that 5 minutes ago on the field. In my opinion, watching college football, the result of bowl games has more to do with which team is motivated to be there than it does with talent. Last year, as hard as we fought it, I think we had a team that was just happy to be there. And we played a team that was hungry to win the game, and it showed on the field. So we had that talk with our guys today about being the hungry team in this bowl game, having a chip on our shoulder and knowing we have something to prove. And we need that mindset right now so that we can prepare the right way. Based on where they put UCF in the rankings this year, I don't know if a team can make it. I hope so, because there's a lot of good football players on this team, and this team has earned it. You know, I think it's unfortunate that a lot of that determination could depend on this game. If we play well and show up and compete or win, I think that's only going to help teams in the future. It shouldn't depend on one game. It really shouldn't, because there's been a lot of teams, Houston last year and Boise over the years, that have gone into Utah, that have gone into these games and won. And everything shouldn't hang on this game, but I kind of understand how important this game is for a group of 5 teams in the future. You know, these are tough circumstances to go into a bowl game. We're going to do the absolute best we can. I'm going to be really proud of this team and happy if we show up and play as well as we can play and compete. And win or lose, if the guys can rally and come together one more time and play like we played all year, with that kind of passion and effort and unity, then win or lose, it'll be a victory for us. Listen, they're a good team. You know, I've watched about 8 games yesterday and a bunch of other stuff on them. They've beaten a Georgia team that was ranked #1, an Alabama team that was ranked #1, and handled them. You know, their strength really is up front on both sides of the football. If we can neutralize that, we're going to have every chance in the world to win. You know, I think our kids can execute and play as well as anybody in the country, and if we can block them and tackle them, then I like our chances.
They've never seen speed like you guys have, right?
Well, sometimes when you're young, you say things you shouldn't say, but you know, I'm always going to back our players, and I don't know if there is a player in the country as fast as Adrian Phillips.
All right, Scott,
but they have a lot of big guys that can run.
Yeah, today was more the focus of trying to figure out what kind of team Auburn is, and personnel wise, and just a good startup of what we need to learn about them. And obviously we got plenty enough time for us to learn more about Auburn, and I feel like we got to a good start this week. I mean, Auburn is a really good team. You know, they're fast, they can move the ball really well, and the whole thing for us, we got to make sure that we trust in our keys and what the coaches in the situation they're putting us in for us to make plays and play for one another. We got to be a team who's not allowing another team to do it for us and make sure that we bring the hats to them. Well, the best way to do it is not respond at all, obviously. But for us, we don't worry about that. I mean, I guess it's kind of cool to be an underdog. It makes sure that we can show the world and shock everybody else. If they doubt us what we can do, I guess we got to show them once more. Yeah, I mean, that was something that Coach Frost told us today, and the whole thing is it's going to come up to the team who wants to be there and who wants to actually win the game. And, last year we felt like, come from Orange 12, and we're just happy to be there. And, this team is different. We came a long ways, and we did a lot for each other, and we're going to continue to do so. And when it comes to this game and being considered the underdogs in this game, being told what we cannot do, we're just going to come in and show everybody, what UCF is really about. Oh, definitely, man. We came out running fast, and usually when you come from a break, you see guys kind of moving slow, kind of sluggish, eating all kind of crazy meals and stuff during the weekend. But guys came out pretty fast running. It was actually hot today, and we wasn't fazed by the heat, so it was a really good practice. We just got to keep it going. I mean, we remain perfect. I mean, that's a big step in program history. I mean, we did everything possible to get to this step in our point in our life, and being able to showcase everything that we've been working for and the goals that we wanted to achieve, and being able to finish the season the right way, that's more than enough to ask for. It's okay to have trophies and different accolades after the season, but winning the game against Auburn Tigers that's something to remember forever. I won't say extra pressure, but it's definitely taking into consideration that I gotta make sure that the team is staying poised and make sure they focus on the task at hand and not being sidetracked of what's being talked about and what's being said, but making sure that we come in to work every single day. I mean, we seen a few guys when I came in to work out on the weekend. Some guys was working out during the indoor just to put in extra work, just to stay in shape and not being able to take the break and just sit at home and not do nothing at all. So it just goes to shows that the guys are working for a purpose, and they working towards something that's just bigger than themselves, and that's trying to get a win. I knew pretty much everybody there on the basketball team, and I was able to kind of sit on the side and actually watch that game. So that was kind of cool. And talking to the guys from that year, they only want the best for us. Obviously you always want the team to be better than what you was, and that's what we're shooting for. We want to shoot for the perfect season because we'll be the first ones to do so. No, not really. They're a really good team, really good school. They in the SEC. I mean, there's certain things that you already know about. So the only thing we're doing is do what we know best and sticking to the game plan, trusting the coaches, and make sure we learn everything we must know before we go up there to play Auburn. Oh yeah, most definitely. I mean, after that conference championship, I was able to just look back and think about everything I've been through and what it took to get here, and being able to come be here my red shirt year and watch a BCS Bowl and come my senior year and being a BCS Bowl. I mean, what more can you ask for? I mean, it's something where I can look back for the rest of my life. Like I had a good time at UCF, and it's gonna be something to remember. Talk trash to my brother forever because obviously he can't come back and change it. So, that's kind of good. But every day I reflect. I make sure I enjoy every single moment I have on that field and with these guys. Man, we laugh a lot, we have fun, we enjoying it, and we're just ready to get up to this Peach Bowl. One more time to rest. I mean, we get more than enough breaks, and it's kind of cool to actually watch all the other bowl games and see guys play and see where they came from and how much hard work they put in this season. And kind of when everybody else is done. There's only a couple more shows left, and we're gonna be one of them.